Today's horoscope and tarot from Astrocademy, Aquarius March 10, 2022. Today's conversations revolve around love, relationships, pleasure, and emotions, although the general approach is detached and not necessarily deep or personal. If you have the chance, create something fun or fabulous, even if it's a creative dinner or new entertainment. Love feelings seem to dominate today, even if it's more about thinking about them than connecting with them. There can also be some exciting revelations about your buried desires or needs today. Approaching things just a little differently comes naturally now, particularly with work, finances, and emotions. Alternative methods seem more useful. Information surfacing now can help free you from something that was holding you back. With the moon balsamic, be sure not to overdo or push a matter, but do aim to enjoy the positive vibes that could very well lead to small breakthroughs in your work or intimate life. You have a positive attitude and focus, even if you're tying up loose ends and taking things easy for now. The sun continues to energize your orderly 6th house of due diligence, but it is also in the process of approaching a harmonious sextile to rebellious Uranus via your 8th house of mergers, shared resources, and soulmate connections. Whether you're single or already romantically attached, chances are you've been putting your current connections under a magnifying glass, perhaps in hopes of making something work in favor for both you and a significant other. Fortunately, with the help of Mars and your planetary ruler, Venus via your 4th house of home, family matters, and innermost feelings, you're keeping your eyes on the prize and thinking long-term. As the moon leaves Capricorn for Aquarius, you may feel the tension alleviate from your private life. Now under the new lunation, your attention shifts from home and family to your creative endeavors. As the day goes on, you may be thinking about what you can do differently in your line of work, who inspires you, and what you could make yours. Luna is inventive in atypical Aquarius, so it can be the perfect transit to brainstorm new creative processes. Since it is such a mental lunation, you should write everything down to keep track of your brilliant ideas. So far this week the stars have been kind to money matters, with the moon, Venus, and Mars all forming a friendly aspect to the north node in your financial sector over the last few days. Today it is the turn of the other side of the financial fence, with the moon's return to your work sector as a new moon set to put it at a friendly aspect to the south node in your income sector over the coming days. You're running around in circles trying to make up your mind about something, most likely your love life. It's not going to come down to anything rational, so go with your gut and where all the cuties are going. Giving in to your instincts is a natural move for you. However, there is a tendency to confuse instinct with excess. The planetary alignment challenges you to find what is really the best outlet for your instinctual urges, and can provide direction if you tune in. Some dietary advice: try to use grains and legumes for your energy and protein sources this week. Starting a new book, or perhaps a course, may hold great interest for you today. Learning is an integral part of being a 7, and with the essence of this day in the air, engaging in a new venture may suit you marvelously. Try to reach beyond your usual interests by exploring different subjects. This will bring greater expansion to your development and knowledge base. Let your love of learning steer you toward greater enrichment by entertaining the possibility of completely different experiences. Right in the heart of the working week, the moon not only returns to an adventurous part of your chart, but straight into a friendly aspect to planets in a playful part, and the professional gods couldn't be happier. Ahead of Mercury's return to your work sector tomorrow, and the moon's to your career sector the day after, the professional gods are calling on you to keep your eyes open and observe while taking a wait-and-see approach. This brings the right distraction at the right time. Just days after Venus and Mars return to your romantic sector, and while they are still aligned, the moon returns to an adventurous part of your chart today and into a friendly aspect to both. Right in the middle of the working week, this brings together a mix of romance, passion, and adventure that will refuse to be ignored. Your tarot reading for today. Death, the Lovers, and the Devil. You need to take a breather, to pause and take time for yourself. In everyday life, you give too much of yourself to others and often forget your own needs. You are a very friendly person and full of good intentions, you give a lot to others, and often you forget about yourself. You are just as important as other people, so think about yourself and repeat, your number one priority is yourself. The cards show a period of profound well-being during the month of March, which could be the result of you becoming aware of how you manage your time. The character the cards describe is peaceful and thoughtful. They have evolved in several areas and are looking at the future with confidence. Do you recognize yourself in this character? Maybe not today, because you have not yet made the change necessary for your future well-being. But you will soon do so. You will put aside your past problems and can finally move towards a happy future. Your desire to always please others regularly plays tricks on you, and many disappointments in friendship or romance prove that this behavior is not good for you. A transformation is necessary so you can develop your life as you want. You have often thought about this problem, but because you didn't have a solution have kept putting it off until later. Well, later is now. The cards are giving you the opportunity to take the next step. Our eyes in the sky. Mercury turns retrograde today, and, as with all Mercury retrogrades, there could be significant miscommunication, technological issues, emotional meltdowns, drama, and travel delays. It isn't an ideal time to start a new project or sign a document. Sounds like fun, right? Nope. But not all hope is lost. This is the first Mercury retrograde of 2022, which is why we shouldn't overthink it. We just have to get through it, so we can start to enjoy the year ahead. It's imperative to make sure your email contacts, documents, and other important files are backed up and secure. There could be a system failure or miscommunication that sets you back a few days. The silver lining to all this is that when you do start saving all that information, you'll be able to go through old photos, emails, and docs, and discard the ones that are no longer essential. Basically, give your phone and computer a major detox. Because the Mercury retrograde commences at the same time that Venus is moonwalking, we can expect to hear from old lovers or exes. Also, we could experience relationship issues with current close ones, which won't be easy for anyone to get over. While we can trust our head to steer us in the correct direction, we should aim to be heart-centered in our approach. The next 2 days are an excellent time for starting things, but not for seeing them through if they require extensive planning or patience. Also before dawn, Leo Mars forms a square to Ceres in Taurus, activating a T-square with retrograde Jupiter in Aquarius. The opposition between Mars and Jupiter will be exact tomorrow. This transit presents a conflict between two fundamental human instincts, self-preservation and the reflex to protect those we care about. We believe others must submit to us so we can help them. If they refuse our help, we lose our purpose, so we interpret this as defiance, an insult, or a threat. If someone does permit us to assist them, we will make sure they don't forget it. Reminders of how giving and generous we are subtly imply that we are owed a debt of gratitude, which inevitably breeds resentment, making the other party wish they hadn't asked in the first place. We should monitor our actions closely today. Self-reflection is the only way to determine whether we are out of line or overstepping another's boundaries.